From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
Right now on the Afternoon Edition, a vote happening today with the nation's economy in the balance. Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Ryan Yamamoto. The House of Representatives is set to vote on a bill to raise the debt ceiling and limit government spending.
But there's a lot of questions about how it's going to pass. Natalie Brand joins us live from Washington with the very latest. Natalie.
Hi, Liz and Ryan. Even though we're hearing some loud opposition from both ends of the political spectrum, party leaders here have indicated this will move forward, but it's going to take ample bipartisan support to get this across the finish line.
I am undecided, but I'm ready to hear what the White House has to say.
On Capitol Hill Wednesday, House Democrats huddled behind closed doors for a briefing with White House negotiators before a high-stakes vote tonight.
Confident that we will avoid a catastrophic default.
There are just days to go before the Treasury Department says the U.S. will run out of money to pay its bills. The vote on today's deal would lift the debt limit past the 2024 election. And new projections by the Congressional Budget Office indicates it would cut spending by $1.5 trillion over a decade.
Trillions and trillions of dollars in debt for crumbs, for a pittance.
Some conservatives are putting up a fight, vowing to vote no. There are also concerns from progressive Democrats.
We also need to hold our ground and stand up for the most vulnerable Americans.
The bill squeaked out of the House Rules Committee late last night with 2 Republicans voting against it. Even with GOP hardliners opposed, Speaker McCarthy has signaled to reporters the votes are there.
No, it matters. It's going to become law.
If the bill passes the House, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has put lawmakers on notice.
Senators should be prepared to move on this bill quickly.
That he wants to bring it to the Senate floor as soon as possible.
So back live in the House, debate now getting underway before a final vote is expected later tonight. Now, I've been reaching out to Bay Area Congress members to find out how they will vote. And so far, a lot of them not commenting quite yet. But Congressman Ro Khanna has tweeted that he is a no vote, as a number of other members of the Progressive Caucus have also taken that position. Liz?
And Natalie, there's a lot of noise from both parties, really, just ripping this deal to shreds. Is it late in the game for uncertainty about the vote count? How are the White House and Speaker McCarthy making sure that the math is good at the end of the day?
Well, they need 218 votes for that majority to get this out of the House. And so House leaders on the Democratic side have said that their expectation is that the GOP members will have 150 of those votes, at least 150. So what does that mean? That means that it would take around 68 House Democrats to also get on board, even though, again, we are hearing opposition from progressives and a lot of people not commenting quite yet. I spoke yesterday with the leader of one of the centrist Democratic caucuses here in the House, and she told me that most of her 98 members will be voting in favor of this. So I think what we're looking at is a lot of moderate lawmakers to get this through the House and then over to the Senate. Liz.
Yeah, sometimes the sign of a good negotiation is when nobody's happy with it. All right, Natalie, thanks so much. Nice to have you back. All right, let's take a live look at the big board right now. The Dow pretty much down most of the day, currently down 131 points.
San Francisco Mayor London Breed laying out her budget for the next 2 years. The mayor saying the city is facing a more than $700 million deficit. Even with the deficit, the mayor's budget is $14.6 billion. Here is some of what she is proposing. Tax breaks on new businesses to help with vacancies. She also wants to hire 220 new police officers over the next 2 years.
Our police department will be invested in, will be supported, and will be held accountable too.
The mayor said some of the new officers will focus on shutting down the open-air drug markets in the Tenderloin for proposed investments in new recovery programs.
All right, let's switch gears and get to First Alert meteorologist Jessica Birch on this Wednesday. And I'm hoping the sun's going to come out. I know it is where you are. Behind us, it's foggy still.
I know. Well, you know, I'm over here in San Jose right now, right? We're starting off with a live look down in the Santa Clara Valley. Beautiful blue skies. Can you share some of that with us up here in San Francisco? Well, actually, I'll let you know it's going to happen pretty shortly. Take a look at this. This is a live look right now from Salesforce Tower Cam down into the Bay Bridge. Still dealing with the last day of May gray here in the Bay Area, where current temperatures in the heart of San Francisco sitting at 56 degrees. We're already up to 67 over in Livermore. It's a nice warm day right now in San Jose. We're actually going to be seeing some 70s right around the corner. The weather's been cool recently, and that's thanks to low pressure. But heading into this weekend, high pressure builds in from the south. That's warm, dry air from the equator, and that's going to give our temperatures a little upkick as we head into the weekend forecast. So some 70s off in our East Inland Hills today, upper 50s along the coast. We're going to start warming up. Livermore, for example, above average right around the corner, and I'll have more cities coming up in a bit. For now, back to you.
All right, Jess, thanks so much. Well, as the school year draws to a close, State Superintendent Tony Thurmond held a news conference today to highlight the accomplishments of the state education system while looking ahead at what still needs to be improved to better educate 6 million California students. He touted the state's universal meal and preschool programs as crucial ways to lay a strong foundation for all California students, while acknowledging the need for more mental health professionals in schools. He says the state's overall push for more inclusivity is critical, especially among the national conversations around book banning and other limitations on what can and cannot be taught in schools.
We recognize that inclusive education is the right thing to do for kids so that our students can see themselves in the materials that they read and the things that they learn about. All students do better for these reasons.
Next year, the state aims to recruit another 10,000 mental health professionals.
Well, school is wrapping up here, but there are still assignments some Bay Area school districts may want to complete. The most recent State Department of Education data reveals only 3.9% of public school teachers in California are black. Meanwhile, black students make up about 5.4%. Data shows some Bay Area schools are essentially lacking black teachers, too. About 21% of the teachers in Oakland Unified are black, about 5% are black in San Francisco, and roughly only 2% in San Jose. Then there's this. Across the whole state, black male teachers make up only 1.2% of public school teachers. And one teacher says we need to strive for a passing grade when it comes to equity in education. He shared with our Justin Andrews what he's doing every day in the classroom to help make that happen.
If school hallways are hubs of connection for students and teachers
into the classes,
you can call this classroom the background of change, and at the foreground,
X plus 2
is high school math teacher Vernon Johnson. He's been teaching for almost 16 years, the last 3 here at KPIX San Francisco College Prep.
And they see that you're black, and they're like, okay, that's kind of cool. He's a math teacher, okay, that's different. I don't really like math, but I like him. They're really crazy.
Johnson grew up in Detroit, where most of his teachers looked like him. But that's not reality for his students. He's one of 3 black male teachers at KIPP. Knowing they're underrepresented, Mr. Johnson works hard, building bonds with every single one of his students, but some bonds are just naturally stronger.
Bonding is crucial. If they don't like you, they're not going to do any work whatsoever. So you have to build that bond with them.
It's a bond high school junior Darian Warren will never forget.
It felt good. It felt like I could finally be represented and understand who I could be. Because like you said, we don't really have many people of color or men of color representing us. And so to have somebody be my educator, it really helped me.
Darian says he's been more successful academically because of Mr. Johnson and feels like he can connect with him even outside of the classroom.
He was a really supportive teacher. If anybody needed help, he would help. And we just worked really well together. I feel like he had great chemistry with a lot of his students, including me.
And research from Johns Hopkins University supports Darian. It finds when students share the same ethnicity with teachers, students are more likely to enroll in college. Other studies suggest it also enhances skills beyond school doors.
Giving them a good role model, giving them a success road, not only for the black kids, but for the people of color in general, the Latinx. They love me. They come to me, they talk to me, they tell me all their issues.
For a person who knows his numbers,
actually, it's not numbers. It's more like just being able to solve problems.
this equation can only be solved if teachers like Mr. Johnson is one of the answers.